a secret world. Everything is true. Everything.
Funcom's newest massively multiplayer role-playing game, The Secret World, is almost here. So, we decided to take one final tour of the game in advance of release. And this time around, we didn't just hang in New England, we also headed off to Egypt and Transylvania, and all three were as creepy as could be. If anything, Funcom knows what they're going for here, making players suffer the dark corners of multiple cultures. And what could be creepier than a haunted amusement park? One of our first stops was in this accident-prone fun fair where psycho carnies and strongmen attack you, and carnival rides go crazy. Consider quests where you hold off crazed attackers while the Octotron swirls above you. Then an eerie roller coaster ride and a battle in a bumper cars arena. Through it all, the atmosphere chills you to the bone. When you wade through the waters among the paddle boats, you feel the chill at your ankles. Gnarled, twisted trees and broken down shacks complete the illusion. The Secret World is constantly reminding you that something's just not right. And that is New England. A New England as you might have imagined from the writings of Stephen King. Egypt may not be as noticeably bone-chilling at first, but it too is a cursed land, heavy with history and the blood of the fallen. And that history belongs to a civilization obsessed with death and eternity, so it's only appropriate that one of your contacts here is a mummy. In this case, a mummy wearing a red tie and pink sunglasses.
Biblical, it's local. Our entire culture was obsessed with eternity and the high cost of dying.
A fancy hotel and the golden sands just outside of it are among the areas where you must fear the local flavor. Funcom clearly finds immersion to be an important factor. There are no quest hubs as you might think of them. The Secret World isn't supposed to be a linear experience, but rather a big puzzle in which you fill in the pieces as you go. Even the maps are meant to immerse you. They're drawn in the local style, using the local language. You notice that detail when you head to Transylvania.
Watch out!
Where the locals tell their children scary tales about the Draculishti, and mandolins and fiddles set the musical tone.
Prince Dracula of Wallachia, champion of the Draculesti, the savior of the world. Victory!
Our mission here took us to a nearby electrical substation. Hulking monsters covered with bulbous sacks joined lanky arachnids, causing us to make good use of both our primary and secondary weapons. More grotesque sights arrived when we traversed a graveyard populated with floating spirits.
They came in terrible ships, riding creatures of nightmares, wielding powerful black magic. We know them now as Mayans, but our ancestors saw them only as masked demons from a hellish place.
The tour ended with a dungeon called the Darkness War. Through the power of the Wakanabe tribe's earth magic, you and your teammates are able to see through the eyes of the tribe's ancestors in a waking dream. The invading Mayans serve as your primary targets, but like most of the Secret World's dungeons, the emphasis is on the grander foes. Gigantic bloodhounds and towering sorcerers are among the threats. And as in most of the game's dungeons, you need to stay on the move. Various area of effect attacks and other magical skills force you to constantly consider your surroundings. The final boss of the Darkness War has one of the most fearsome names of any MMOG villain, Weabzul, the Hound of the Nameless Days. We were assisted in this battle by a Viking wielding the famed sword Excalibur. We'll let you wrap your head around that one for a moment. The Secret World certainly tries something different in the online RPG space. Whether or not it all comes together is still unclear, but the wait isn't long. Full release is scheduled on July 3rd. If anything else, it might be moody enough to sink 2 sharp fangs into.